Hey everyone, this is Bruce from Kraken Gypsies, and today we'll be leveling up a bunch of champions probably, and we'll see if we can complete any of the endgame missions here with them. So far we're probably looking at leveling up Leona. We do have 1 star on her currently, and we are running the Tempest Blade on her. Our Leona is indeed level 8, and I think she'll be what we use for both of the Targon missions within Shadow Isles and within Targon itself. But without further ado, we have to go through all these basically, and we'll see how we do. Alright, so to start off, we're going to go up against Ezreal, the Prodigal Explorer, and they have the special rules of I never miss. Whenever the game starts, they draw a spell. So we're going to try this with Leona. As you can see, our Leona is only level 8, so we might not do as well, but we are going to try our best. Alright. So, let's get into it. We have our first power here. Between the 3 options, I could probably go for Black Market Discount. That's going to help us get Leon on the field faster. And now we have the Hextech Observatory. It has Power of Observation. So, basically, they get their namesake card on the board immediately. Alright, so here, we're going to replace Sunburst, and we are going to replace Ayula, but we'll keep the Blinded Mystic and Leona. Unfortunately for us, they have the attack token, but they don't have any mana. So, for us to drop down the Solari Soldier, it's just to trigger Daybreak. We could do that real quick, though. And we'll end the round. As you can see, it should lose its stats. Yeah. Alright, and we'll drop down our other Solari Soldier. This time it is our attack turn. And we'll attack with both of them. Alright, they do sacrifice their Forge Chief, but we were able to get 3 damage on the field. And we'll end the round there.
Let's get to work.
Okay, so here, as you can see, here's a bunch of cards that lit up. We can do a bunch of things here. What we'll do is we'll drop down the Blinded Mystic, we'll grant our wounded Solari Soldier additional stats, and we'll silence the Forge Chief, so now they can't use their strike power. However, they do use Mystic Shard on their Nexus, and that's okay. Alright. Well, they're going for an attack here for whatever reason. We'll be blocking accordingly. I have nothing to worry about here. They lose both of their cards. They don't have any mana to react to it either. Okay, so we're just going to go for this attack. It's going to do 11 damage. And that's going to be that. Alternatively, I could have dropped down more cards and made it more climactic, but I don't think I needed to. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them, of course. Alright, so between these 3, what I want to do is I want to stick to Targon. So I'm going to be looking for stuff like Zenith Blade, upgrades, that kind of thing. However, I might be able to use the Trifarian Training Pits later on. I just can't do it now, that's all. Alright, and now we have the support champ. I think the perfect support champ for Leona could be Twisted Fate. I mean, this would work, because we have the pick a card, and the gold card will stun. And I kind of want to play around stuns. But at the same time, just for that, we can also reroll and look for like a Yasuo or something to that effect. Although that's pretty hard to come by, I feel. We're going to use our last reroll to do this real quick, see what we get. So we have a 5-cost Viego. That's not as bad. I think we're just going to go for Viego. He has some higher cost units here, but I think that's okay. And we'll be going up against Jay here. He has the power gear up. And the reason why we want to go up against Jay here is to get the champion item chest, as you can see. if you guys haven't fought Jay yet, I can go over his powers once we're in the game. So basically, during the round start, we get 1 of 3 spells in hand, and they are significantly cheaper than what they would normally be. So it's a fleeting Sunpork's map, which gives elusive, Rising Spell Force, which gives +4 power and quick attack, and then Suit Up, which raises your stats to 4/4. So unfortunately, I didn't draw my 1-cost unit here. If I did get to on my attack turn, I'll be dropping it down here rather than the Solari Sunhawk, since it has nothing to stun. Alright, so we're going to use Sunpork's map on our Solari Soldier. And we're going to attack with it too. Get some free damage out on the board. Awesome. And we'll end the round there. Our black market discount's actually going to be doing work for us since Viego has some pretty higher cost units. It's nice to see, I feel. Here we'll drop down the Solari Sunhawk first, and it's going to stun the Starlet Seer. Even though they made it elusive, it's still stunned. I could use Rising Spell Force, but it only gives it those stats this round, and they can't attack, so there's no point. This round I have a lot of options in hand that I can take on. I think my best option, or what I'd rather do, is drop down the Blinded Mystic. Alternatively, we could also just play Leona, as she'll stun the Starlet Seer. I think playing Leona was a better option because now we can make her elusive. And as long as we are controlling the board, we have nothing to really worry about. Well, that was a pretty bad trade-off, I have to say. I wasn't expecting that. But needless to say, we're still going to attack with our 2 elusive units. And we'll end the round there.
A lifetime of innovation.
Interesting. So we're going to have to do a couple things here, but I don't know what's the best. Well, to start off, we'll drop down the Solari Shield Bearer. And that's going to level up Leona. And whenever Leona levels up, Tempest Blade activates. So we stun their entire board. So they're going to have to play a 1-cost unit to be able to attack this turn, and they didn't, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we can control the board correctly. The Blinded Mystic permanently silences a follower, so we're going to do that real quick. We're going to give our Leona additional power, and we are going to silence the Starlets here. Alright, and this is a permanent grow an ally to 4/4, so we're going to be using this on our Leona, just to give her additional power. Alternatively, yes, I could have used on the Solari Soldier, or any of the other units that we had, basically. Alright, and before we start, we are going to drop down Sunburst, and we are going to use it on one of their field musicians. Actually, their only field musician. And that's going to trigger Leona's stun. And that's going to stun the strongest unit, and we're going to use the Sunpork's map now. This time, probably on our Solari Shield Bearer, since it has the most attack. So the only unit that they can block with would be the Starlet Seer. However, it can't block elusive units, and we have enough damage here to take out their Nexus. So I don't have to worry about anything, basically. Yep, there we go.
Our deeds will be written in the heavens.
I think that worked out pretty well for us. We also got the Shreeman icon from our region roads, which is nice. Alright, and out of these, we can go for the Cloven Way. Having a Nightfall card actually kind of helps us out a bit. And we'll still go for the champion item chest here. We'll go for a cost reduction on Leona. So now we can put her on the board faster. And we'll go up against the Amateur Aeronaut. We don't really have another option here. The round start, units with 2 or less power has a 50% chance on being stunned or gaining elusive this round. So yeah, we'll dive right in. Alright, so this is an okay hand, but we're going to replace both of our can't speak sometimes. Ayulas. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, we don't have anything to do turn 1, unfortunately. We got pretty much all of our Viego cards. It is our attack turn though, so sometimes this is okay. It just means I'll have to recover later to get board advantage. We do have black market discount, so our invasive Hydrovine will be cheaper as time goes on. And then it'll be a toss-up between Viego, the Cloven Way, and the Hydrovine. Alright, this turn, we can drop down the Chemovoran Soldier. It gives us another unit, although it's a Fermial. And we could also use Zenith Blade if we wanted to. However, I want to use the Daybreak effect on it, so I'm not going to just yet. We're going to attack with both of our units here. Might seem silly too, but I'd rather put some damage on the board. And we'll end the round there. As you can see, they have quite a few units on us. I'm not too worried though, as they kind of do board control for us in a way, with all the stuff that goes on. Alright, so we're going to drop down Viego here to start things off. And we'll unfortunately sacrifice our Chemovoran Soldier, but this is okay, it kind of helps us level up Viego. And that also gives us another Encroaching Mist. Alright, and we're going to keep our 3 spell mana. We're not going to use any play just yet. Okay, so we're going to drop down Rayvon. So now it's always day, which is great for us. And we can drop down Zenith Blade, and this is going to give us another copy of it. We're going to give Zenith Blade to Viego since he doesn't have Overwhelm currently. And we get our card back too, which is great. And now we're going to attack with both of them. And this would be enough to end the round, basically, if they didn't block for Rayvon.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
Fearsome on Viego is pretty nice too, especially for this. Since Fearsome only works against units that have 2 or less power, the Amateur Aeronaut shouldn't play anything that has more than that. So, I don't have to worry about that. And we're going to drop down Leona. They already attacked, so maybe I should have waited for the next turn. Because we have Tempest Blade activating here.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
So unfortunately, Solar Flare is kind of redundant. And since we do have more mana, we can drop Zenith Blade, but there's no point on doing it this round. We might as well wait till next round at the least. Okay. Alright. So unfortunately for us, we don't really have any Celestial units in hand. So dropping down the Eclipse Dragon is not going to help us any, I don't think. What we can do is we could just attack with all of our units here regardless. And we'll just commit to this attack. Like I said earlier, I don't think there's anyone that they can use to block Viego. So no matter what, we got that 10 damage on the board. I didn't have to actually put Overwhelm on him earlier either, but I think having the extra stats helped. Alright, so we probably would go for Withering Mist here. It's going to drain 2, and that's going to give us some more sustain. Alternatively, we could totally go for Porofly and just roll with, you know, having a 1-cost unit all the time. I think that's probably better, to be honest. So we're going to go into the shop here. We have the Blighted Ravine, and that's an interesting landmark. It's kind of okay, but since it deals 2 to all units, it's not like the best, but it does give us some sustain with the heal on summon. Quick wraps on Ravon's nice, and the Solar Priestess is nice. Battlefield training, I don't think we're going to get all that much use out of it. So we're going to go for Ravon and the Solar Priestess. And I think that would be good enough. We could go for Concussive Palm too, since we're sticking with stuns. And it does have Healing Potion on it as well. And at this point, we can either choose to heal our Nexus up to full health, which I'll be doing. Alternatively, we could have went for Battlefield training. And I don't think I'll get that much usage out of it, at least not against Karma. As both sides do start with 10 mana gems. It doesn't give me many opportunities to scale up units. And my weaker units probably aren't going to survive that much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to say hi, you can say hi too. I don't bite. Don't worry about it.
Yes, he does.
Oh, you can hear bubbles in the background. All of the naysaying. That's okay. My camera's kind of out of focus, I've noticed. I know.
Heart and mind as one.
Nope, still out of focus.
We'll bring peace to Iona. Whatever.
Oh well, I give up.
Bruce playing with the camera.
Yeah, pretty much. I give up. Oh well. So much for that. Well, it's their attack turn, so we're just going to drop down Solari Sunhawk for now. And this is just going to stun Karma, so I don't have to worry about her until she plays down another unit. Okay, well, I don't mind blocking the Green Glade lookout. Let's drop down Viego here too. Give us some extra power on the board, and we'll end the round there. So we do have to be careful with Karma. She is a 5/5 unit, and she has the ability to buffer herself up tremendously. So we're going to immediately drop Zenith Blade on Viego. That's not fun. Alright, so they're going to be Blade Dancing too. And they recalled our Viego as well. We'll be blocking one of the blades with our Sunhawk. Interesting. Well, they can't use Quick Attack unless it's their attack turn. And if they stick to recalling Viego whenever I place him down, it's actually going to hurt us a bit because he has to see allies die. So whenever he gets sent back to his hand, that resets. We'll drop him back down.
She waits for me beyond the mist.
We don't get to draw a Zenith Blade if we drop it down this time, though. And we'll drop down the Chemovoran Soul. It's ready, so we're going to attack with... Karma's going to take a bit of damage. We get another Encroaching Mist as well. Alright, and we'll end the round there. Interesting. We'll drop down Zenith Blade first, and we'll put it on Viego. And that's going to let us continue to have cards in our hand, basically. So as long as we have Zenith Blade being played, we'll never run out of cards. And we're going to use Concussive Palm here. We're going to stun. Yeah, we're going to stun Karma. I had to think about that for a second. It's like, maybe Karma or the Pathless Ancient. Cool. Well, that's definitely not fun. We are going to drop down our Porofly. And we are going to try to block everyone that we can. Without taking significant losses, of course. Alright, we are going to save our Porofly, actually. I don't think it's worth us committing to save us from 2 damage. Okay, and we're going to pass. We're going to keep 3 of that spell mana. Unfortunately for us, we're not drawing Leona. So this is making this a little bit more difficult for us than we'd expect. We're going to drop down Ravon. And that's going to make it always day. We have to be careful with these Kinku Call cards. Casually getting buffs like that's kind of incredible within itself. We could drop down the Sun Guardian, but I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference here. But we'll drop down Zenith Blade and we'll put it on Viego for now. We could drop down the Shield Bearer. It's stronger than the other units. And maybe we will drop down the Sun Guardian. I can wait, actually. We'll attack with Ravon. And we will commit to this attack. We're just going to attack with him since he does a quick attack. They're going to have to sacrifice a unit. I was hoping they'd sacrifice something nice, like the Coastal Defender or Karma. Fortunately, I didn't get that. But that's alright. If I attacked with Viego, we would have lost him. And frankly, at that point, I don't know if we'd be able to pull anything off. Well, it's always day, so I can never actually use the Cloven Way's Nightfall. So I'm just going to drop it down now. It's going to let us draw too. I'm glad that none of their units have Challenger, as that's something I'd have to worry about. Alright, so I'm going to use the Porofly to block their 7/7. I'm going to use the Ravon to take out their Coastal Defender, hopefully. I'm going to use the Cloven Way to take out their Gold Protector. And I'll use a Shield Bearer to take out Karma. And I'll use Viego to take out one of the Kinku Masskeepers. Thank you, Lila. Okay, well, with all that happening, they've drastically changed how this attack went, and so it's no longer beneficial for us. We lose a lot more and we don't take anything out of this, basically. Except for the Keeper of the Masks. Oh, we did lose Ravon there, so we'll drop him back down. And now we could use Zenith Blade. Basically just to use it. Oh, we didn't draw another Zenith Blade out of that. That's not good. We do have Viego leveled up though, so things are looking a little bit better for us. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier first, and that's going to let us draw.
We owe this land our lives.
We're going to drop down Iola here, and we're going to give Viego Overwhelm.
The dead do not want us to mourn, but live.
Now I just need them to use a bunch of their cards and stuff, basically. Very, very easy, very simple, right? No, of course not. We're going to drop down the Adept Shadebender, and probably the Cloven Way, to be honest. We could probably make something out of that. and Raybon. Maybe we should just go for it. Go for broke here. Yeah, let's try it. Well, we're not going to attack with Viego, though. We'll keep our Viego. Let's see what happens. Overall... Well, the Shadow Shift is disappointing. Yeah, we're still not able to take out Karma. Because we don't have any offensive spells that we drew yet. Damn. Well, it's two against 2, but both of them only have one health left. It's not the worst.
We must make our own.
That could work. So Viego's Despair. Alternatively, we can actually just take out Viego here. I mean, we do have another copy of him in hand, so this isn't, like, the worst, to be honest. We're going to commit to this block. Lucky for us, we finally took out Karma. But we did lose our Viego, as previously mentioned. We'll just drop him back down.
I do this for her, for us.
Alright, and we'll pass. As you can see, we're still taking their Adept Shade Bender, thanks to Viego. I think that's pretty neat. We're going to drop down Iola once again, and this time around, Viego Spell Shield, just in case they do anything funny. Alright, and we're going to attack with Viego. We're going to attack with Adept Shade Bender, and we're going to commit to this attack. They are going to have to sacrifice their units if they want to, you know, keep their Nexus health. I'm starting to learn that we don't want to attack with Viego first, because whenever we've been doing that, like, we don't reap the benefits. Thanks to the encroaching mist, though, I'm certain that's kind of why we keep stealing their cards. I mean, I'm happy for it, don't get me wrong. We'll drop down the Sun Guardian here. They do have Karma I have to worry about, and we'll drop down the Chemivoran Soldier too. It is their attack turn, so we do have to be weary. They buffed up Karma's health, but they ain't use her. It's kind of weird. We'll just use the Encroaching Mist to block the Adept Shade Bender, and we have nothing to do against a Dancing Droplet, because we don't have any elusive units. And we'll pass. As you can see, our Viego keeps growing in power and health. Thanks to all the Encroaching Mists that we have. And we finally have Leona. Alright, we're going to drop her down. They already have 5 units on the board. If they play one more, that's the only one that they can block with. So we're good to go. Yeah, Leona immediately levels up because we've been using Daybreak pretty much every turn. And we get the whole board stunned. And it's going to drop down Solar Flare just for fun, basically. Okay, and we're going to attack with everyone here. We're going to use Leona to take out Ren Shadow Blade, I guess. And we're going to commit to this attack, and that should be the end of Karma. Okay, well, even if they do use Shadow Flare, this still results in us winning. So it's not like the worst. Yep, there we go. We took out Karma. Okay. We're almost level 9 too, which is cool. Here we're probably going to give Leona Overwhelm. She kind of needs it, I feel. And we have the power here. We got the power. We're going to go for a reset or flexible game plan. These two are beneficial for us. I think flexible game plan helps our early game out more, but reset helps out much later in the game. Here we have the choice between a spells chest, healing node, or a gold chest. Honestly, I could just go up against an Intrepid Mariner. Since we do have flexible game plan, we'll be okay. Alright, and there's no point on us replacing our starting hand since it's going to be replaced anyways and shuffled. Okay, and our only choice is to drop down the Porofly, and we'll attack with it too. And we'll end the round there. If they do drop down a unit, and they get to play a card first before us, we can drop down the Shield Bearer. Alternatively, we could drop down a Soldier. Or the Sunhawk. We'll drop down the Shield Bearer this time around though.
Unyielding light.
Alright. Okay, so this turn, we're going to drop down the Sunhawk once again. And that's going to stun their Contrologist. And we'll also drop down a Porofly. And that gave us unit advantage. We're going to attack with all of them since their one unit is stunned. Alright, and we're going to pass, and that's going to be it for us. Unfortunately for us, Black Market Discount has absolutely no synergy here. We're going to drop down Leona,
The power of the immortal
and her own Daybreak is going to cause her to level up. So she's going to stun the board. We don't have to worry about our defensive turn here. Alright. That's going to bring us into our attack turn. As you can see, there isn't all that much that we need to do. We could drop down Leona's Morning Light, and we can activate everyone's Daybreak effects. I think that would be pretty cool. Oh, okay, we only activate one. Never mind. Well, we can't drop down the Cloven Way, but we can drop down the Solari Soldier, although the Philosopher's Stone on it isn't going to help us any. Or we could drop down the Invasive Hydrovine. I think we'll do that. And since it technically counts as Daybreak because we do have 1 star on Leona, so we have solar power, we were able to stun their strongest unit.
It's like tomorrow, but it's
Alright, and we're going to attack with everyone here. We're just going to go for it. We're going to use Leona to challenge her strongest unit though. That's the only thing. And we're going to commit to this attack.
Why are you here?
Yeah, they didn't block effectively, so we were able to win there.
Our deeds will be written in the heavens.
Awesome. And we also get another champion card from our region roads. Alright, we're going to go for Phage on the Invasive Hydrovine. Alternatively, the Crystal Ibex or Mikhail's Blessing's good too. And we're going to go for the Spells Chest here over the Healing Node. Between these, I think Song of the Isles we could actually use. Yeah, we'll go for that. Battlestar would have actually been okay too. I just picked too fast, I suppose. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm not that interested in most of these cards. Avatar of the Tides would be pretty interesting to use with Leona. Concussive Palm with Predict is okay too. We could just go for Chrono Break here though. That's alright. We either have Poros to go for, or the Champion Item Chest. So, we didn't go for that many Champion Item Chests, I feel. So I want to go up against the Academic here to go for it. And I kind of want more copies of either Leona or Viego. I don't have any opinions. On which would be better at this point, but I do want both of them. We're going to replace our Porofly since we get it anyways. And I think that's going to be our turn 1 play here. Yep. That's a really strong turn 1. Well, our poor little Porofly is not going to be able to hang with them, so we're going to use it to block the Academic here. We're going to eat the 4 damage off the Dredger. And we'll pass. Okay, there's nothing for us to do turn 2. So, we're just going to keep our spell mana.
Tough places breed.
Alright, turn 3, there's a couple things I could do, actually. We're going to drop down the Blind and Mystic. We're going to buff up our Porofly and silence their Sting Officer. So now we don't have to worry about his elusive. They do use Gotcha to take out our Blind and Mystic, though. We are going to use the Porofly this time around to block the Sump Dredger. Alternatively, we could take out their Academic. I think the Academic's actually more valuable of a target. Although, we are trading off 6 damage. So, it's not the best, but I think it's okay. We'll see. Alright, here we are going to drop down Leona. She's going to stun the Sump Dredger. Damn. Okay. I always expect them to use a swap bot on my champions. I'm glad they didn't. We're just going to use Leona to challenge their swap bot. And we're still going to deal damage to their Nexus thanks to Overwhelm. And we'll end the round there. We do only need one more Daybreak card for Leona to level up. And we're going to overdraw here, unfortunately. Alright, so to start things off, there's a couple things that we could do. We could drop down Nirvan, and then we can use Chrono Break if we wanted to. Or we could drop down Viego. Anything that we play basically is going to make Leona level up anyways. So everything's going to be stunned here. Yeah, I guess we could go for Viego.
She waits for me beyond the beast. My queen.
And here it is, Leona's level up.
The divine power of the sun.
Awesome.
Just keeping the peace.
Well, they still have a unit to attack with if they wanted to.
What do I do? What don't I do?
Yeah, we'll still pass. We'll keep Chrono Break for now. It just lets us play more recklessly. Yeah, we'll drop down Rivan. And he's going to create another card in hand for us. It's always Daybreak now for us. And we'll be able to trigger Leona's Solar Flare pretty frequently. It's also our attack turn too. Alright, we're going to drop down either the Shield Bearer or the Sunhawk. The Sunhawk is probably more effective here, as it'll stun 2 units, but it might just be repetitive with Leona's stun, we'll see. Oh, okay, it wasn't. It worked. We're going to attack her with all of our units. We're going to use Leona to challenge probably their Patrol Wardens. It was either that or the Sum Treasure. I suppose the Sum Treasure does have quick attack, so we should go after that first.
What seems to be the problem?
Alright, we're going to resolve. This is going to take out all their units that they didn't have stunned.
Safety mode.
And now we're going to use Chrono Break. And that's just going to let us rally and, you know, attack them again, basically. We're going to attack like this, and that's going to give us the win. And there we go.
Without her, there is only darkness.
Alright, we have a champion item chest, and we also have another healing node. Between these rewards, these are actually all okay. I like the Cloven Way with Double Time Watch. Since we do have black market discount, this kind of doubles up on itself. We also have the Stellari Sunhawk with quick attack, and that's alright too. I think we get more out of the Cloven Way though, despite us needing more lower cost units. At the same time, we also need some effective, stronger units to be able to deal with Ezreal. And here, we're probably going to go for Iceborne Gauntlet on Viego. Alternatively, we could go for Colossal Hammer or Reckoner's Mark. I think that's all okay. More leaning towards Iceborne, though. Or Reckoner's. Yeah, well... I don't know. This is actually a really hard choice to make. We'll go for Iceborne. It's a little risky at the same time, just like Reckoner's Mark is. Alright, anyways, we're going to go up against Ezreal here. He has the power target practice. Their spells cost 1. On the round start, they get Static Shock. And if they leveled up Ezreal, they get True Shot Barrage for 1 cost. So, for the most part, we have to make sure they aren't able to drop down and leveled up Ezreal. And yeah, alright, so to start things off the bat, we're going to replace the Hydrovine. And we're going to replace Ayula. We're going to keep Ravon and Leona, though. Alright, so our hand's actually pretty good. The only thing is we don't have anything to play, like, turn 2, basically. And they open up with Static Shock, which is actually kind of preferred at this point. We are going to drop down Solari Soldier. That's going to last draw 1. Getting Chrono Break early is great. This is pretty much like the perfect setup, basically. The only thing is we didn't really have anything to play on this turn that maximized the cost. Alright, they are going to use Gotcha. And that's going to take out the Burrowfly, unfortunately, since they used Static Shock on it first. But we'll attack here for 3 damage using our Solari Soldier. And we'll end the round there. They are overdrawing now, so that's good. And here, we could drop down the Blinded Mystic, however, Ezreal doesn't count as a follower. So, that kind of sucks. Right? Yeah, I guess we'll just use Zenith Blade for now. And that still activates Daybreak, of course. I'm trying my best to utilize everything, more or less. So the reason why I didn't want to use the Blinded Mystic is because Ezreal's a champion, not a follower. And so I wouldn't be able to silence him. Although he would be a perfect target for silence. Okay, well, anyways, we're going to drop down Leona here. Actually, we could wait to drop down Leona as well. We'll drop down Ravon then instead. Yeah, and we'll attack with both Ravon and our Solari Soldier. They do block with both Ezreal. But fortunately, they used their double spell combo on us again. So we'll lose our Solari Soldier. Lucky for us, they still lose Ezreal though, which is great. It's preferred. And we're also overdrawing once again. We're going to drop down Solari Shield Bearer here.
My faith protects me.
They have 2 elusive units on the board. We're going to drop down the Blinded Mystic to follow it up. And we're going to give 1/1 to Ravon, and we are going to silence their Amateur Aeronaut since it's their strongest elusive. They do only attack with their elusive Ashporobot, that's okay. As you can see, our Cloven Way is now free, but we do have Ravon on the field, so we're not able to utilize it to its full potential. Yeah, that's okay. To start things off, we'll drop down Leona. And I could have waited to do this too, because they do have 6 mana. They have space on their board. They can still react. But we'll see what happens.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
Everything gets stunned. And they drop down their spell combo once again. And they're using it to take out our Blinded Mystic. And to break Leona's barrier.
Look ahead, not behind.
Alright, so we'll drop down the Cloven Way here. And it'll actually work, amazingly. And we'll use it to take out the Intrepid Mariner. And as you can see, we actually activated both Nightfall and Daybreak at the same time by dropping it down on our turn 2, basically. It's kind of fascinating.
So long, City of Progress.
They do replace it pretty much immediately, though. We'll just do it again. I have a plan in place, actually, so this is going to be pretty good for us. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's not going to be the end of the world, of course. Alright. And we're going to attack with everyone. They have no way of blocking. And if that didn't work, we also had Chrono Break in hand too, just in case. So there we go, we took out Ezreal. That went pretty well for us, I'd say.